Alrighty, hello everybody. Hopefully we're live and everything's working fine. How we all doing today? Just give me 1 second. We're gonna set up now. Let me put on some music for y'all, and then we'll get started. I promised we were gonna stream today, and I do not lie. I'm gonna make sure I keep my promises. Purple site is live. Perfect. Let's make sure the red one is a go. Red one is also a go. Perfect. Okay. Let me just finish setting up here. We'll plug in my iPad. We can start drawing. Let me make sure that this is working. Okay. Let me see if I can get the chat going too. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. It's okay. It's loading right now, but once we have stuff starting up, it'll be able to be legible again. How we all doing today? Let me plug my crap in, and then we will open up the chat. There we are. Perfect. I know it's definitely a little bit later than we normally start, but I promised we were going to start streaming today, and then over the weekend we were going to do some stuff too, and I was working on crap anyway, so I might as well be streaming, so... You know what? We're here. That's all that matters. We're alive. Everything's okay. Get some music playing. We'll start there, and I'm going to plug my iPad in today. I'm going to be productive, right? We'll probably get a good 2 hours at least. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try not to think too hard, right? We're just going to draw. We're going to work on the stuff, but I feel like when I do, I overthink it, right? We overthink it, and then we spend a bunch of time just sitting there not getting any progress done. Well, when really, it would be much better if, you know, we just essentially start, right? You just start and don't think about it. So, we're not going to think about it. Okay, sorry, I was just adjusting. I'm trying to have my iPad held up properly because normally it falls apart, or it falls all the time when I try and hold it up there while I'm streaming. So we're doing it a bit of a different way today, right? Okay. And there we go, and I'll just set that up now. This fine Friday. God, I had a bunch of crap going on, but at least we got everything handled and can relax a little bit. We'll put on stream and then get some work done before going to bed. I was debating if I want to pull an all-nighter and start either streaming at night times or working more on Fridays because I need to get more time. I wish there was more time in the day. Oh my god. Let me close the window capture for a minute just so you guys cannot see what I'm about to be doing. Okay. And then I will set up our little Aircast screen recorder thing. Perfecto. See, we're getting faster at it. Also, I think I got a splinter in my foot, and I don't know how. Okay, perfect. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to tap back, and hopefully everything will be magically solved. And there we go. Yay, everything's working. Okay, perfect. Perfectissimo. Let me pull up the chat. Perfect. I'm just gonna move that off to the side. I mean, it's loading right down anyways, but as you guys talk, it'll fill up. Sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's probably due to the sleep deprivation, but that's okay. So, what I'm thinking is that I need to stop thinking, right? That's exactly what we need to do. You need to remind me, chat. No more thinking. Instead, what we're going to do is just work on crap, right? That's all we need. We're just going to be focused and keep working. Right? It's working more on some stuff, but I think it's not going to read properly, unfortunately. The lighting is going to be a little bit different on stream than it is for me, unfortunately. Like, I can't do anything about that. I wish I could. But I mean, still, you can see it. You can get the gist of it. Let me zoom out and adjust that. Right? what I'm thinking instead is that I need to just, one, grab my sketchbook, because I have notes in there that I should probably take into consideration, but okay, I have it here. And then we have some water, because I'm inevitably gonna ruin my throat by talking like this. Perfect. Now what do I start on? I could continue. Right, that's definitely... Yeah, I think we'll do some refining today. Right? Just cleaning liner. I was doing that earlier, but I feel like that's a good thing to continue and finish up. Just go back here. Because once things are done, you can start checking them off the list, right? Okay. We'll just start erasing here. Actually, sorry, before I get into this, I'm gonna just grab one quick swig of water there and make sure that... Sorry. That we're hydrated. Hopefully you guys did not hear that because I am not doing ASMR for free. Okay, no thinking, head empty, just draw. Let me get my little drawing glove too, that might help actually. Nope, I have it backwards, that's not helping. There we go. Okay, here, not thinking, no thoughts, just drawing. There we are. We'll just keep going, don't want to get caught up on the details, because really the hair, people aren't going to zoom in, and even then, as long as it, like, it makes sense, it doesn't have to be perfect, because that can be tedious, and I can go over it over and over and over again like I normally do, but where does that get me, right? It's a waste of time, and then there's no work that gets done, and then I get, you know, irritated because I could have been more productive, so we're saving everybody in the long run, and we're just doing it right the first time. Okay. Erasing that. La da 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 da. And drawing the hair stuff here. Perfect. Yeah, I will add just a small caveat where we will erase this bit here, and I will add a line to the string. This can go. That it was a waste. But there is going to be a string going up here, so we'll just add a line like this, like so. La 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 la. There we go, we'll just keep making a line. And then clear it out, there's no reason to overthink it. Just erase that. La da da da, la da da da. And there you go, it's even got a little bit of waviness like a regular string would. Just think, I'm being realistic, we can think about it that way. I can't wink, god damn it, it's not showing me winking. Oh, let's fix that. YouTube Studio decided it wanted to shut down. Not today, Satan. Perfecto. from there. You can erase most of these, right? Some of them can stay, that's fine. Like that. That can be mostly erased, and we'll replace it with proper lining. And also, this is another random thing, but I'm not sick, but for some reason my throat's been hurting. And I don't know about y'all, but for some reason, vitamin C, I don't know if it's just like a placebo or it actually helps, but I feel like taking vitamin C usually helps with my throat. And I don't know if I'm just making that up completely. Like, I have some here, and I might take some in a minute. Like, growing up, we always used to just, you know, if you were sick, vitamin C, sore throat, vitamin C, anything like that. And it may have been absolute BS, but it's kind of worked itself into my mind. And we're going to erase this. There we are. So, you know, Liney McLinerson. Doesn't even matter. That's my motto for this stream. Nothing matters. Yeah, let's redraw the ear. Also, I'm changing this. No, no thank you. That's enough of that. Nope. Nope. I do not want lyrics in my copyright-free music. No, thank you. Not today, Satan. No, la 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 la, you can't hear anything. Let's reduce the... Okay, so we're gonna do that instead. I'm experimenting. No. Let's try this now. Maybe that one's gonna work better. I don't know. Perhaps. Maybe just a little bit. I think this was better. Maybe I'm just being picky, right? But maybe. Oh, did I not jump onto my... Have you guys not been able to... No, you can. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, for a second there, I thought this entire time you weren't able to hear anything and I was gonna have a panic attack. So, in the chat again. Perfect. I feel like that's mostly drawn already, but I'm just gonna redo this line. It's fine. And then we'll redraw this part. Dumb ways to die. I'll erase that. Perfect. Now we'll erase the eye, make it kind of blurry, and we'll go over it with the line art. Like so. There we go. And then we can add lines underneath like that, a little. We have the eyes somewhere here. No, let me redo that. I think he's not looking down enough, so let me fix that. Is it not angled to the side down enough either? Let me go back. I'm starting to overthink it and I need to not, but I'm just gonna go back and double check. We're gonna verify. Okay. I see. Perhaps it was that I made the eye much too small, right? I flattened it out, which made him look like he was looking in the distance and not directly down. Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, that definitely helps, I think. Perfect. Eye's working fine. And then we'll do the eyebrow. From there, eyebrow like so, that works, and then we can move on to the other part of the face. We'll erase this here for the nose, kind of erase all these bits, and then we'll add our lines. There we go. Erase the mouth, add some more lines. Bim, welcome in, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, just drawing today. Walked around the neighborhood with a coffee cup one time, never felt more alive, untethered by a big pond. Oh god. Pleasure having you aboard, welcome, welcome. You getting all philosophical today? Never been a really big coffee person though, personally. Yeah, just never got into it. You have to tell me more about the wondrous effects of drinking caffeine. The cat kind of looks like your cat? The name's Sheshire. I'm currently talking through the body of my cat, Grim. I'm possessing him. It's just a preset in VTube Studio, but yeah. God, I always had black cats growing up. They say it's bad luck, but I figure if it's that cute, it's worth it. Yeah, it's one of the presets in VTube Studio. Okay, mouth there. I'll just erase it and try not to spend too much time on it today. I always just sit around and I get in my own head about things, and I have a bunch of pages to do, so we're just working on it. So, okay, maybe one day I'll draw my own there, and we can have a model that's maybe a little bit thinner, more fluffy. Okay, we're gonna erase this and then redo the eye, hopefully, like so. Add another line. And then, do I have an eye? No, the eye that far out doesn't make sense. But I can do. Yeah, something like that. We're working on something a little bit secret there, but I'm trying to get it done. Normally we're doing stuff like art, but this is something I've just been working on a little bit, so I have quite a few pages we're trying to do. Yeah, something like that. It's a secret. I think, here, let me see. We did something like this recently, Smuggle On, if you've ever heard of her. That was a drawing we did. Something fun, just like a character design stream. And other than that, we do all sorts of fun art stuff here. But yeah, recently I've been trying to work on a secret. And that's how it's going to remain. There we go. That's the fun little page. You won't tell nobody? Well, so you see, the issue with that is I have trust issues. Maybe that's another page I need to finish. Yeah, just some fun stuff. A lot of it right now is really, really sketchy. Like more scribbles, if anything, so I'm just trying to, as my as the pages go down and polish them, redraw everything, and then add words and crap, because I have outlines, lots of like red scribbles of what I need to have written, so sometimes I write like a schizophrenic mess. So we're going back, and I'm just fixing out the line art, and then we can kind of knock the pages out one by one. Thank you for the compliment, appreciate it. Yeah, but welcome on in, the name's Sheshire, and we do some art here, hang around, draw, sometimes RPGs, gaming, that sort of thing. More recently, it's pretty much all been art, and because I have a deadline on something like this soon, I need to just spend a lot of time working on it, so I figure if I'm going to be working on it, I might as well spend time with y'all, so. We'll be streaming it too, yeah. But you know, sit back, relax, and enjoy the sweet sound of my schizophrenic voice. Thanks very much, yeah. Also good, I found myself popping vitamins like crazy today. I have a sore throat, it's not bad, but I don't want to get it worse, and I've always just popped vitamin C like that. It's hard to get in hell, I have to tell you. Okay, just erase the lines and redraw them. Okay, these three here, they're not the same size, and I'm only realizing that the proportions are off now. That's unfortunate. Okay. So let's maybe touch up on that there. Also, I love how the music is continuously changing. I've tried to set it to the same, but it won't. Okay. I'm overthinking it. We're going to draw this, we're going to make it smaller. 2 lines like that, shabam, shabam, line in the middle, another line, shabam. Look at that, that works so much better. We're not overcomplicating life. Because if I think too much, then the drawing's going to slow down. iPad, do your job. Go back to the... My technology is also trying to sabotage me. I'm like spiritually 87. I'm not, but I might as well be an old man because I do not understand how half of this works. So between my computer, the phone, and the iPad, I have 3 different devices that are actively trying to foil every stream that I'm in. Erase this, and we'll draw like the pieces of the bag sticking out. Redraw that. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Another line there. Okay, smaller lines. Just a quick one. There we go, that's working fine. I have like a t-shirt underneath. This isn't important. Really, they're only here to serve a purpose, is to introduce somebody else, but that's okay. And then we'll clear up all the unnecessary like gray spots in the shade that doesn't need to be here. I'm gonna tidy that up. We can have another little line, that one's fine. And then erase this bit from the sleeve, like so. We'll bump up, neck like that. Okay, we're gonna get an itty bitty tiny eraser. Trying to go here and not ruin the rest of it, but I might just have to. Get that little shading bit right behind it. I'm gonna get it real close. Okay. Clean up the rest of the face. Just erase this mess. And then from there, do the outline like so. Eyebrow. Something like that. So we'll clear this up again, just get the last of the gunk off the page. And then, what the hell am I doing? Is the eye that far? Or, no, there would be a gap because the head is leaning like this. The eye would be a little bit further in, so I can probably erase more of that. And then we'll redraw it. little small. Technically it would be something like that. Little gap like so. And then the next one, we're gonna polish. I think I actually want to figure out this panel here, because I need to erase part of it anyways, and I need to figure out what I want to fit. So I could have like that, essentially, so it's part of the face, part of the body. I think that looks good there, and then I can erase what's leaving the border. Something like that. Not to overthink it, just go with it. Go with the flow, Sheshire. Don't overthink it. Now we'll erase that. Da -da -da -da. Okay. We'll fix this up now. Make the little erasey bits. One like that for the hair. See, it's so much neater after you erase all the 57 pounds of smudging that you do when you sketch. I say you. I did it all. I sketched like a maniac. Somebody was like on one of my YouTube shorts. It's like, this is the messiest line art I've ever seen in my life. And I couldn't disagree with him. It was fair. It was a fair point. Okay. Lines like that. Now, the funny thing is, if I click on like my notes section, I have scribbles all over the goddamn page. Back when I was planning it, I have like scribbles in a physical paper notebook that I have, and then when I was transcribing them onto digital format, essentially, there's so many just like random words and shapes, and it looks like the ravings of a schizophrenic lunatic to the outside, but to me, it all makes sense, I assure you. Let's get rid of them. And then go back to polishing. Just polish, polish. So we have, you know, hair, something like that. Erase the rest of that bit. Actually, it's funny, right now, holding up my iPad so it doesn't fall over, because normally it does every single time, because I can't keep it standing no matter what. I have the old pencil sharpener we did from like a month ago on my YouTube VODs, you can see it, but the nose pass Pokemon out of clay, the pencil sharpener we did, I'm placing it right behind my iPad, and that way I can have it positioned upwards, holding it in place. It's great. It's actually very convenient. It now serves more than one purpose. It has become the official iPad holder. Okay, line like so, a line like so. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. The hair all like this. Now I'm debating if I have like an ear poking out, but I mean technically the ear would be back there so you wouldn't see it anyways. So I can just erase this bit here. Yeah, I feel like honestly that's fine. We'll erase these lines. I made the eraser a little bit too big. I could shrink it, definitely. Okay, from there we'll adjust the face shape. I mean, for the most part it's okay, but it's just really, really thick lines right now, and I don't like that. Not very professional. Gonna make them a little bit wider. There we go. And we'll make the eraser smaller, so I don't need to keep redrawing all the damn lines I erase. I say that as I erase lines and have to redraw them. There we go. We'll erase part of it. I'll have the mouth being squished a little bit, like that. Okay, then we'll do like the neck and the clothes and stuff, so we'll erase this. The only issue now is that because it's so small, sometimes it just completely gets rid of what I'm trying to erase instead of just making it lighter, which is an unfortunate oversight. Okay, I'll add like the collar. Erase the other bit. Da, 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 da. Okay, we'll zoom out. Everything's still making sense. The page didn't magically explode while I was gone. So that reminds me. Just make sure that the title is right. I had it set to the last one, unfortunately, and I tried changing it beforehand, but I don't know if Twitch did too. So let's just make sure that everything's okay. We're all live on the purple site and the red site. Yes, we are. Great, that's perfect. Actually, let me mute myself and make sure everything is fine there. Perfect. I always like to make sure because sometimes the stream will just randomly crash, or not crash, but there's been issues in the past, and all I'm saying is I now have trust issues with technology. All it took was one OBS reset and my entire computer wiped. Technology. I can't stand it. Can't go back to the good old days of just putting a curse on people like a regular individual. Now it's gotta be... Well, now it's much worse if you go, I hope your OBS crashes. Because then you gotta spend 20 hours trying to reinstall all the plugins you had. I'm saying this from experience. Now let's go back before I had shaded it. Okay. So pretty much right there, and the hair goes down further. So we'll add a line like so. And then erase the rest of that. Perfect. Just kind of polish for the most part. Face doesn't have to be pointy. If you want it to be more childlike, the browner it is, the better. So we'll do that, curve it, there we go. And then we'll do the little tiny nose. I mean, that I probably didn't have to, but make it a little bit more pointy. Okay, from there we'll erase this little festy-majiggy thing. Redraw the clothes, so line like this. A line like that. And then a line up here. Okay. So then I can shrink the eraser again. I'm not going to accidentally erase the entire page like that this time, because I did that before. Erase Mundo. And then clean up the excess. And also remember, this doesn't really involve shading or background colors or anything else like that. It's literally just a line art, so. Again, not the final product. We're going to have to wait and see, trust the process, and it'll look better eventually, but in the meantime I want to get the line art and everything done before I start shading. Because it's better to have the line art finished than absolutely nothing at all finished, because if you have one or two shaded pages which look amazing, it doesn't matter, because the rest of it is garbage. So you always gotta think about the big picture. Okay, we're gonna lightly erase this. La da da da. There we go. Some lines there. That little hand in the glove. Also, I didn't realize I have the chat not open. I should probably do that. Great. Sometimes I think I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. I used to have the, oops, okay, there we go. I used to have the ability to see it on the same channel, or the same page as where my OBS was, but for some reason now, some update, I can no longer see it, so I have a separate window open. It's a pain for no reason, and I don't understand why technology likes to do this to me, but just figure fine, have it your way. I'll play this stupid game and have a separate tab open every time. I'll do things the hard way. There we go. We'll have that line going down the middle like it's some kind of leather glove. And then that other finger right here. Nope, that's too small. Let's redo that. Again. There we go. Just like little hands. Erase this here, the arm, but there we go. It's going in there. Another line like so, and then we have a line down here essentially coming out like that. Okay, that's that panel done. We'll just erase here. There isn't really much detail that needs to go with the eyes and face because technically we're never going to see them again. It's going to be shaded in, but that's something to add later, not right now. Just clean it up. What does she want? Clean it up. Although I could add that little tiny bag poking out from the bottom. Like, there we go. Or rather, something like that, right? You have a bag poking out. I think that's fine. That's fine. That's okay there. Move on to polish the next one. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna lighten this whole damn thing. Not too much, but just enough. Okay. Now that it has been thoroughly lightened, also, do let me know if the music or any of the volume is not adjusted properly. I feel like I don't change the settings too often, but depending on what kind of music that you're using on the website, it may be a little bit louder or quieter, which is hard to account for. I think it shouldn't be too bad. I have it set a little bit lower than me, but I can never tell because in my ears I'm blasting like a full 30,000 person concert. My headphones also like to play games with me, like every other piece of technology does. Okay. And then we do a line here. Okay, wait, no. Should I have added... Yes, I should probably add a strap for the bag then. You know, we'll do something like that. Nope, eraser too big. There we go. Just a little strap there to remind us that there is in fact a bag. Little explorer's pack. Okay, and then we have like the big flowy sleeves. Erase it. Just kind of clean that up. There we are. And then from there, do I have like a hand? I'm trying to figure out, do I have the hand holding anything or just kind of like settled? I could turn into a fist, like that maybe. Like it could definitely be done, but I think, let me grab a different brush for this if I'm not just going to be tracing, because I'm only going to do the inking brush if I'm tracing. Something like this is much more of a sketching job. Or do I just have the hand on the chest like so? Thinking that might actually make more sense. We don't want the hand to be overly large too. So we'll have it maybe facing like this, knuckle up, thumb tucked in. Gonna erase part of that. And then that way. Kind of the big flared glove too, that covers up most of it. It's like her hand is tucked into her chest like that. I think that works fine. And then we'll go back to the inking process. Get the eraser out. Start to clear this out. A little eraser there. Here, I can add. I'll add it like that. Little tiny glove. And then we have the arm down here, something like that. Okay. I will erase it and clear it up now. Okay, that's good there. Line like this continues, and I can erase the rest of the crap because we don't need all that little gray gunk for no reason. Perfecto. I should probably add another piece on the bag there, or like another over the shoulder. Something like this. Okay, let me move on. We're gonna move on to the head before I do the other hand holding the guy's sleeve. Let me grab a drop of water, because I feel like my voice is going. God, I'm always concerned you guys can hear me when I drink, and I hope not. Ah, there we go. You're not getting free ASMR from me. Never happening. Okay, we'll do the face now. A line. Line. Another line. And you guessed it, more lines. So from there, the rest of the hair. Da, 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 da. Now we'll do the rest of the hair like so. A little flick out here. I think that works. Combine it up at the top. And then we'll do the back end there with a little bob. The little bowl cut. Back. No, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want it to look extremely uneven. That's right, the whole point of today is to improve speed and efficiency by reducing the amount of time I make on needless adjustments. So I feel like even though I'm running my mouth a mile a minute, it's not necessarily interfering with the thought that is happening while I'm drawing, so it's not too bad. There we go. We'll just highlight the rest of the shape of the head. For children, usually it's a very big ratio, so either like high head to body size ratio, and then also really, really rounded features. The more rounded, the younger it is, because as they sharpen out, they age. Like so, we'll just round that head off. And then a little, like, blip, just a little blip for the nose. And then we will do the eyes now. Now, in theory, can draw what's behind them as well, which I probably will end up doing. And then she's like looking up at him, nagging him because she's bored out of her mind. There we are. And then we'll do this little strangly bit of hair here. I think that should be okay. Now I'm just gonna start to erase the little excess squiggly bits that we don't need in a process called de-bullshitification. Or something along those lines, I don't know. All the unnecessary BS in the sketching that is never going to show up anyways, so we're just going to get rid of it. Oh, my iPad's slipping. Let's readjust. Need to readjust my little paperweight. There we go. Stay. Stay. Stay up. There we go. Okay, perfect. My paperweight is not doing its job. Okay, from there we could have, let me see, what were the eyebrows doing? Oh right, that one's gonna be smoothed out. It's gonna have like really, really like dark. Oh, that is not the opacity I wanted. Like there's gonna be a bunch of dark marks under here basically. It's okay. I cannot do that with this brush, so you're just gonna have to trust in the process. You're gonna have to believe. Eyebrows like so, just like small round ones. I'm debating if I draw a second one here, because technically it is behind hair, so it wouldn't really show up. I know it's part of the anime style, but it never really made sense. I mean, I can. You know what? We'll leave it like that. And then, from there, we're going to do the other hand, which is kind of gripping. No, erase it first. Lighten it up, because I can't see my own lines, and that's probably an issue. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll have like a hand grabbing him or whatever. I have a glove around the sleeve, that's okay, right? The little glove on the arm, or on the hand rather, my apologies, I'm a little dyslexic today. A little dyslexic every day. Just kind of grabbing onto his sleeve, so we'll do an arm like this maybe. Something like that. We'll erase the rest of this because that leads into the shoulder rather, sorry. You know what, I feel like the edge of the sleeve would be peeking out here anyways. So I can actually, we'll erase that and redo it. But that is technically where that would end up. So we'll get rid of the lines that kind of leave the box. I need to make the eraser bigger. Shape those. There we go. Although I can maybe make it a little bit longer, and I could cover up the hair. Though I don't know if that would help. Maybe it would. Perspective. Covering up part of her face, I guess. So from there, I feel like I should be drawing the backpack and other stuff that's in the background, but I don't necessarily know if that is necessary. Yeah, we'll kind of see. And then from here, we'll just get rid of the unnecessary gray crap. I can kind of leave the bits around here, because I feel like that at least makes sense. It's like little shading. But other stuff, like this can go. This can absolutely go away. It serves no purpose. Okay. Erase this bit. And then clean up this bit as well. The hand, whatever, it's peeking out like that. I feel like it makes sense that the hand was going that way. I don't know why I'm drawing it coming out like that now. The hand would be sticking out sideways like this. Because she's wearing the gloves with like the flare on it. So I'm realizing it's rotating quite a bit for y'all. My apologies. I can add little like folds and wrinkles to indicate that it's being grabbed. Right? Perfect. Okay, index finger is dealt with. We've done our job. Starting to spend too much time on this, and I need to not do that. Back to erasing. Focus. Sheshire, focus. Back to erasing. Getting rid of the unnecessary shading. I feel like some of what I did earlier is unnecessary. So we'll redo that. Should all be essentially extremely clear and easy to follow, which means that I need to get rid of unnecessary darkness even here. Like the hands were technically, it wouldn't really matter because they read fine anyways. Hands are usually very, very obscured as is, so we don't need it to be fully clear as humans to recognize. But even so. Give her gloves, and we'll have that little tiny bit of jacket, or backpack poking through. Which means, like, technically this would be shirt up here. It would be him. Yeah, there would be like a big jacket here, or rather. Erase this, that's more backpack. Some sort of, you know, like big backpack thing up here. Okay, from there. It's okay, that's gonna be shaded. From there, we'll rotate down to this main image. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's the sleep deprivation in me. Okay. Let's start working away at this man's face. Lighten everything up a little bit. And then just replace with single lines. Doesn't really matter if the shape is perfect or not, but trying to make it easier to read, essentially. That's all that matters. Perfect. Just gonna keep going. Have the ear sticking out somewhere like that. I will trace the head shape down here. Got the tension in the air with that chin, oh my god. It's just a little bit pointy, I think. Okay. From there, I'm gonna erase this bit, technically, and then we're gonna redraw it. Just like a string or a strap or something dangling from the hat. Perfect. From there, just draw the other end. It may not kind of read when it's over the other stuff because the lines are kind of getting blurred together, but that's okay. We're going to clean it up afterwards. We're just trusting the process, chat. Don't you worry. God, I don't know if the vitamin C did it to me, but I always feel really, really drowsy all of a sudden. Now we'll draw the outer lining on the hat. Da, 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 da. There we go. And it's cutting over the panel a little bit, so we'll have to go into the other layer and erase the panel. Da, 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 da. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to maybe not be that weirdly shaped. So if I go over here, let's go to the page. Nope, not that one. Not that one. This one. That one has the boxes that we're looking for. So we can go on here. We can erase those boxes. Great. And I guess we'll just continue and make sure that we're no longer on that layer. I always make that mistake, so we're going to be very conscientious of that. What do I want to do next? I mean, we can keep doing the face, I guess. We'll just make this a little bit smaller. Erase around the neck here, and we'll redraw that. Let's redo that. Okay, like so. From there, erase all of this bit, and then we'll redraw that little strap thing for the backpack. Quick line, second quick line, another quick line, you guessed it. You're really psychic, that's impressive. Okay, and then we'll draw this, and we'll draw the straps connecting them, basically. So help me God through speaking this music again. I will change it. I've done it before, and I will change it again. If it's the generic copyright free music, then I'm getting the generic copyright free music, and that means no lyrics. We'll do it eventually. I need to figure out how to do a different audio track for the VOD and the live stream. That way I can actually play the own music that I listen to, and it'll be okay. But until then, we're doing this and just having to listen to the same stuff, but that's okay. I mean, it's not too bad. Could be worse. I could have to listen to country. I actually don't hate country that bad. It's just that there's like one or two genres, or at least I grew up in the middle of nowhere, right? Which meant that was all they played. And you get sick of it after a while, so I feel like this isn't really all that bad. Okay, we'll erase this. Let's clean up inside the lines that we already did. Perfecto. Do that little line over it. Okay, and we'll have this go all the way back, I think, right? Or I have it not so far up, and I can have this like shirt type thing from earlier that goes all the way around. Right, just something like that. And then we can clean up that with a really itty bitty tiny eraser. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so now let's do the arm with the other strap thing on it. That little line on it too. There we go, perfect. We can erase the other bit. I'll erase the inside of this line here. I'm turning this canvas sideways because apparently I like to make people dizzy. It's just easier to draw that way, but I think I'm a little bit weird because most people don't have to rotate it 360 degrees to draw like a normal person. Okay, sleeve over top. And then we'll clean it up. Just erase our bits. Erase some more bits. There we go. And then I guess we'll just move down here. You kind of just erasing and polishing. No, I could put some kind of belt, is what I was thinking. Maybe like bits and pieces of some sort of like canisters sitting up. Okay. Some sort of like belt or buckle or something, right? I don't know if this really adds anything, but it's fun to just add a tiny bit of flavor, you know what? Right? Just like a little tiny belt buckle, which we may investigate later. Does it have a purpose? I don't know. Neither do you. We may never know. And there we are. Perfect. Continue to erase this bit. And we'll redo the bottom of the sleeve, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to loop it up a little bit because you can see part of the sleeve from underneath if it was going in the wind or just like a little bit of movement. I think I may turn the volume down, at least from my computer for myself, because I'm being blasted in the ears by this music. Oh my god. Okay, and then... So you know what, why do I have the drawing guide still on? Let me remove that might help. Let's get rid of those stupid pesky lines. Maybe that makes it look a little bit better. So let me just check in on y'all. Everything's still alive and good? Perfect. Back there, it's like nothing ever happened. Okay. Okay, now I guess I continue with the backpack. I could polish the strap thing here and just erase the unnecessary bit. Like that, that's more necessary gunk. I don't know what to call it. Unnecessary lines, unnecessary smudges. Because technically it's not smudges, but that would really be the closest thing. Now we're going to erase this back half. And redraw that. Okay. And there we are. And then from there, the rest of the backpack. So erase this, and then we have a line from like back here. Let's erase that, we can just put a tiny line. There we go. Erase this bit. That little flap that's going over top. I don't know if I should have like zippers, little pockets, or that sort of thing, but I think in the meantime that's okay. And then we have like a little bundle or something next to it that's rolled up and attached. Just some like compartment to hold something. I'm trying to think of like those big camping bags essentially. Let me open my chat up. Where did it go? Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. Guess that does kind of lead into the hair, so I can redraw that. And then what else should I add? Technically, Like there's little drawstrings and stuff usually. Or we have some kind of like cable or clip or something that's holding it on. So we could be doing that. Let's, erase this bit. Erase that little bit. There we are. Okay. I think I might just take a second there, grab some more water. Make sure to stay hydrated. There we go, a little drinking ASMR. And then pop another vitamin C so I don't get sick. I really don't think it's sickness, I just think it's from talking a lot today. But you never know, and I don't like taking chances. And luckily, I know you can't overdose on vitamins. Because they don't really have any medicinal ingredients. But cough drops do. I remember technically I probably shouldn't have survived, but I had like 40 or 50 cough drops in the span of like 30 minutes, and I think they said you're allowed 2. But I survived. I had a really, really bad cough one day and I needed to get a lot of work done and talking to a bunch of people, so we were just gonna pound them back. Okay, also maybe we erase part of this. And then we do kind of some of it with shading, because if it's material it wouldn't be as rigid, because I'm thinking it's not a box, it's like a material wrap or some crap that's strapped to it. There we go. We'll also have like a cord or something here. And then, whatever hook or something that the cord can wrap around. Something simple like that. Okay, lengthen shapes like that. Erase just a little bit, but that hook is coming off of it, and then we can add these little tiny erasers bits here. There we go. Like a little rope holding it underneath, and then we can have usually some kind of tarp or roll or something, but we'll have one of those like pick drawstrings on it as well. Like, the shark tooth or the big spiky ones. I don't know if y'all have gone camping before, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. And then erase this. With kind of little ruffles, because I want it to be more fabric, but I also don't want to overdo it and then make it look like there's no shape to it. So, like a little bit. Something like this, we're trying to draw a fine line. Right, and you have that little bundle at the end, which is going to let you know. So, tie that off like this, essentially. Rope around the base. And there we are. And then we can get a little tiny brush to erase this. Clean the rest up. It looks really messy right now, but we're just gonna have to trust the process, I assure you. Okay, from there, we can do like a little erasing here and polish this. Make the brush bigger, that probably might help a little bit. Okay. Like so. There we are. The rest of the hair, the other bang. Keep erasing it though. Lighten everything up. There we are. No, let's redo that shape. That did not work properly. Like this. There we are. Great. Fantastic mundo. We're doing the shape like so. No, let me erase that top part. There we go, we don't have to blend it too far together with the bangs. Now we can get the round features in, do the child face basically. Erase that. There we go. A little mouth, essentially. I don't know why I said essentially, it is a little mouth. That little tiny nose. And then from there we can go down to the neck. And I feel like this is okay for the most part. Like I'll just add the rest of it. And then we can actually kind of flat color this black, really. But I don't like necessarily having the line art be what's black. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. We'll just leave it black. Don't overthink it, right? That's precisely what we're trying to avoid today. Okay. And I feel like the sleeve and the rest of it isn't actually too bad. There isn't really much that I need to erase or fix or get rid of. So we'll just do that. We'll keep adding like a flat black shading. Erase this. There we go. Keep erasing that. And then I put some indicators of shading on this, and I feel like I had the right idea for it, but still gonna have to erase them. Okay, then we get rid of that the back flap thing. Clean up this over edge part. There we go. It's working, it's working. Now there's this mangled looking hand thing, but I'm gonna do that later. We're not gonna do that right now. Because I really want to actually fix the panels as much as I can. This background I can do much more. It's really rough right now. We're gonna do a little bit more shading on that too. But in the meantime, I want to really clean up this, and then I can look to see if I want to start adding speech bubbles and doing background work. And then that way it'll start to actually look more complete. Okay, let me just sit up straight there, posture. There we go. Let's go down here. Do that little eye bit, something like this. I also want to erase that because I feel like the lines are much too thick on that. It does not help whatsoever. Okay, maybe I make it smaller. Erase that. Don't make the eyelash too long because usually that makes people look older. So we'll make the eye really rounded still. And then we can have a kind of round flick on the outside too. There we are. I feel like it's unnecessary, but I also have this little eye thing where I have like lashes that go like that, technically. It's back from my Persona days. Let me just erase that, you know, we'll keep it blank, excuse me. Oh god, sorry about that, I had to cough really bad out of nowhere. Felt something was lodged in my throat. Oh, they're trying to take me out. Okay, fix the rest of this here. Eyebrow here also makes perfectly good sense. Do that. I could make it maybe a little bit more stumpy, that might help. Okay. From there. hair makes sense now, that's okay. And then we'll do the other bit on the eyes. I can get rid of that little smudge. We will fix the hair too, so we'll get that little brush out. Line like so. La la la. No. There we go. We'll do hair here. That, I feel like that makes sense. I always forget. I usually do sketches and then I completely forget what it was I had in mind while I was drawing it. I feel like I need to take note, but this makes sense to me at least. I'm gonna have to redraw the eye on top of it, but that's okay. Nah, I can live with. So from there, we'll just erase it. We'll get rid of this eyebrow too, because I can redraw that. Perfect. Erase that. Okay. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to fix this eye properly in a way that still makes sense. There we go, something like that. Also, if those three like flick things don't work, I might change it, but I still want to really try it because it's back from like the Persona art style that I really enjoy. So we'll see. So wait, let me redo that. I think that does significantly change what the hair is doing, or the eyes at least. Da, 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 da. There we are. Almost finished the eye. We'll do the eyes somewhere, I think like that. That makes sense. And then we'll have eyebrows, what, like here too? I think that works, right? Just a little squiggle, but it ended up working out perfectly. So I think, yeah, we're not going to change that. I'm just going to leave it, we're going to accept it, we're going to move on. And then to the panel underneath. This could definitely use some work. Start to erase it. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, and then the lines are much cleaner now. There we are. Okay. Now I'm debating how we're going to go about this. But I think the best way to do so is by first erasing this box that's around the hand, because you want to have the hand sticking out and being lit up. Essentially like the comet or the shooting star is passing overhead and it's going to light up her hand. There we go. Then we'll go back to the sketch layer. And we'll go back to this funky looking line art. Now do I start with the hard part? Maybe I do. Which would be the face, if that wasn't clear. The body's okay because it's a lot smaller lines and isn't too smudged, but the face is pretty bad. There we go. Okay, perfecto. We'll continue to do the rest of the hair. There we are. Flick. And erase. Also, it's funny, there's a friend of mine who's, I guess, playing Binding of Isaac, because I keep getting pings on Steam that they're playing it. I have no idea what it's about. I know it's a roguelike, but I think I've been pinged like 73 times now in the span that the stream has gone live, because I think Steam just wants to know, like, Binding of Isaac, hey, they're playing it. And I know we told you before, but maybe you forgot, so we're going to remind you again. And I have streamer mode enabled. I don't know why I'm getting these notifications. Actually, the mouth is perfectly fine, technically. The line is thin enough anyways, so I don't have to change that. And then there we go, that's the nose. Whoever can string your husband so bad. God, the more days pass, the more desperately I need to go fix that live streaming versus VOD soundtrack thing so that I can actually play music. There we go. The eyes like that. I feel like that's already much more clear. From this too, we'll erase. There we go. I'll lighten all this up too, because that's shoulder. Which means that this should be backpack or something like that. No, that needs to be angled more out. I'm gonna angle it more out this way then, build the shoulder, and then it just goes further back. We're just gonna imagine that it keeps going back there. There we go. I feel like that makes sense for the most part. And then the sleeve out here. From there, we'll just continue down the front. Larger brush, Erase the rest of the face outline. Line like so. And then trace the line down here. Continue tracing it over here. We'll keep going further down as well. Like a dress bit here, which is fine. Just do that. Fill it out. Technically, because it's above view, only part of it is going to be visible anyways, so that's fine there. Erase the leg and the shoes. And then I don't know necessarily if I'm going to add a pattern to the shoes themselves, but I think for the meantime I can just do like regular shaped ones, and then I can go from there, right? There we go, and I can have, I should make the hand a little bit smaller perhaps. Or perhaps not, I mean, it is a child, like she wouldn't be too far down. Here we go, we have a hand semi-clenched, maybe something like that. Maybe I'll make it significantly smaller, right? Just a little tiny bit of hand poking out there. Okay, there we are. Now we're going to move on to the other side of the head. Erase this bit. You know, I'll just get a larger eraser. Polish that up. Dun, 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 dun. Erase the vast majority of this. Perfect. Okay. Like the eye's fine like that. We'll trace the hair. Move it up. I'm gonna erase a little bit more of this because I feel like that can be... it can still be seen. So we want that completely gone before we do anything else with it. We'll get rid of that. Hair. And then there we go. Big eyebrows like so. Nope. The eraser's too big. Now I need the eraser to be smaller. It's the only issue about trying to erase large patches at once, is that I forget, and then I'm going to accidentally erase something important. There we go. The hair is fine. The rest of that is fine. Just introduce the eye stuff like that. There we go. Then we can do this band for the backpack. Same thing as the other side. Okay. And then we can do this little sleeve thing, where technically her sleeves are down, but no, let me redo that. Sleeves are down, but her elbow is bent, so the hand is sticking out. iPad, go back in the app. I don't know why you keep trying to zoom out, but I do not give you permission. There we go. I don't know why I just spun that, sorry. We'll have the hand out like this, and then elbow bent. Something like that. And then I can trace the glove, like so. The fingers in it. Like that, the big thumb. You know, I feel like those fingers are a little bit small, so I can actually increase the size of them. Larger fingers. And then there we go, the pinky one doesn't have to be too much bigger. And same thing as always, the line along the bottom for the leather glove. It's really faint, but I'm OCD. And there we are. Now, I'm thinking, it is getting a little bit late for me. I know it's just been a pretty short stream, but I'm debating if we go back to this tomorrow. I might work on a tiny bit and then crash, and then wake up really early. Do some more tomorrow, we can do some more work on it. Just scrolling through the pages now. And I have, actually, let me go back and click on this, because I have a bunch of words and stuff that I can write all over it that we need to do for the text and dialogue, and then I can work more on the background. Then I'm looking at the next one. That one we can do too, and start to polish out more scenery. Zoomed out, it's not as intensive. This is technically an old drawing that I did a while ago, so I could be redrawing it, right? But that really depends. Then we start moving on to here. Just a tiny, there'll be like one panel of color basically, but zoom in, stuff like that, that's fun. Because I do want to get some work done on it, but I know it's late, and I feel like should we just crash a little bit, and I'll be back bright and early to work on some more. I think that might be the best idea. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming by. I appreciate it so much. Let me just make sure, and we'll see what we're doing. I might raid into somebody, see if anybody else is live, and then be back tomorrow for some more. Same thing, unfortunately, for those on YouTube, I'm not gonna be able to raid into anybody, unfortunately. It's just not something I've figured out yet, but let me see if anybody's live on Twitch right now. Stream manager. Drop in. Okay, there we go. I'm getting the hang of this now. Raid. There's Nia. Cha-cha. Porcelain maid. You know what? Nia's playing some Counter-Strike. Fun little shooter. Maybe that'll give you guys something. A little bit blood pumping to get your blood flowing. Unfortunately, that's it for today, but we'll be back tomorrow with some more. Let's see if we'll raid into Nia. Thank you everybody for coming by. I appreciate you so much. And I will see y'all later. after this raid. Okay, let's see if this goes through. Alrighty, thank you everybody for coming by. My name is Sheshire, the Devil's Not So Funny Jester, and I will see you all later. Bye.